Okay, guys, so here's the deal. Attorney Walter Hnot. You know, every Thursday we go live and I answer questions in rapid fire format. Basically, for those who are looking for legal advice related to Social Security disability benefits. I'm going to have the moderator throw the phone number up there if she can. We do have the first caller coming in, which I'm going to go ahead and call real quick. And I know that they called in. I kind of missed their call, but let's get it started. Let me get them on the phone real quick. And that way we're good to go. Here we go. Hi, this is Attorney Walter Hnot. We are live on YouTube. Remember to use a fake name throughout this process. Would you like me to answer a specific question, or would you like me to run hearing questions with you? Go ahead.
I have a question.
Hey, go for it.
Okay, so I'll try to be brief so you can get to lots of callers. But I am on SSDI.
Okay.
Have been for a long time.
Okay.
Many years. And I am wondering how the Social Security Administration would interpret one of a couple scenarios in terms of income. I've been encouraged by some friends to create essentially on-demand content, like, for example, the equivalent of writing a book or an online master course.
Yeah.
That I could do as I was feeling able and so forth, but very much, on camera with my own self in the wheelchair, that sort of thing, if need be. But I'm concerned about how they would interpret income, whether or not I put it through a corporation, because obviously, if you put content out there that's on demand, say they can buy it for, I don't know, pick a number, $50, right? Well, if one person buys it, we're good. Theoretically, 100,000 people could buy it over time, because it would just be up there for sale. I don't know how they would deal with that.
Okay, so basically the first thing they're going to look at is, did you earn for that month over SGA, substantial gainful activity? You're SSDI, so you don't have to worry about resource limitations like with SSI. So SGA is basically your glass ceiling for how much you can earn per month before you become ineligible for additional funds. So that's $1,470. Now, $1,470 is not much. So if you make content, and one person likes it, cool, nobody's going to care because not enough people are buying it. But if a lot of people like it and a lot of people are digging it, that first time that you earn just over that 1470, 1480, they say, okay, overpayment, we shouldn't have paid you that check because you earned over SGA. So that's the first thing you got to watch out for, is earning over the SGA limit. The next thing you have to watch out. Oh, yeah.
I guess in this scenario, what I'm wondering about, though, once the content is created, I'll use an old school example. Let's just say John Doe in 1987 or whatever wrote a book, right?
Uh-huh.
He did the work. He hasn't, nobody's updated the book in years, but all of a sudden a bunch of people start buying it. Well, that's an intellectual property asset in my mind, because, he owns the copyright, that sort of thing, as opposed to new work he did yesterday. Did you get my drift?
I do. And you're arguing what type of income it is, will it be countable, and how will it hurt you?
Yes. And to be clear, I haven't done it yet, specifically because I can't afford to get cut off at disability.
So here's my thing. Okay, let's say that they deem it as something where they're not going to count it against you, right? Let's say that. Then that's a great scenario. But then let's say the more realistic thing, which is a tightening of the belt of the SSA to try and get people off of benefits because they've got so many on it. I'm not so certain that that is an investment fund that is totally detached from you, because you originally wrote it, correct?
Well, hypothetically, nothing's written yet, but hypothetically, yeah.
Yeah, this whole thing is hypothetical, but you originally wrote it. You put it out there. Years later, it made income. And you're saying, do we count it as income now, or is it an investment? Man, that's the fruit of your labor right there. That's the direct fruit of your labor. Like when you buy stocks, you're not out there like coding the programs at IBM. You know what I mean? But like with this, you wrote it. Yeah.
So what? Just for clarification for me, let's just, and this hasn't happened either. This whole thing's hypothetical. But let's just say I was really smart, right? And I go out and I invent something and I get a patent, and somebody pays me a royalty or wants to buy my patent. Is that work activity to them?
A patent that they purchase from you, and that's stretching the line right there, because you essentially created the product, that which had worth. So you have this product that you sold that was the direct result of your creation. You know, it's like the guy who called me one time and said stocks don't count, but does stock trading count? I would say, or day trading. Day trading counts because that's like a job. Stocks inherently are not like a job. But if you write one patent, oh man, are you in the like? You said you're smart, so are you making lots of patents? Is that what you were doing? Because remember, when you make a patent, yeah, go ahead, yeah.
Well, no, my career is I've been in IT and IT management.
Okay.
I have a background in business administration and IT security, and I've been engaged in the past in e-commerce through corporations, and I used to work in the Fortune 500 before I was on disability.
Yeah.
So I find myself in my incredibly early 50s, too close to retirement for my financial comfort, and yet not old enough that they're going to look the other way.
Yeah, no, I get the situation of why you're trying to create extra income that comes in that's not countable. But to be honest with you, man, if you're capable of doing this stuff, like, I don't know what you're getting per month, but if you can beat that by a lot, why do you care?
Well, that's the thing. If I can beat it by a lot with all the accommodations I need, I would do it in a heartbeat. I would prefer to be working more if I could do it in a way that works in my life with all the accommodations I need. But my fear is that I get really busy doing consulting or something like that for a month or two, and then lose my benefits, which in effect would also affect my health care, and I don't find another gig for 6 or 8 months, and I don't have the money to afford to float until I get money back again.
So why aren't you using the ticket, or why don't you use the 9-month trial work period and the extended eligibility periods to back you, and then roll into a ticket to work program?
Oh, I didn't tell you all that. I'm sorry. So I've done everything, exhausted everything except ticket to work. And so my fear or thought around ticket to work is, at least what I understand, is essentially, after 5 years, you're off the program, and I'm still not 65.
What's your current age?
I turned 50 a few months ago.
Yeah, you're too young to play that risky game. How much were you making while you were doing the 9-month trial work period?
Well, I mean, that's been many years ago now, but at that time, probably the equivalent today of $100,000 a year. My disability is a physical one, not an intellectual one.
So, I mean, if you had the capacity during the 9-month trial work period to earn $100,000, like, what am I missing here? If you could earn $80,000, I mean, is your insurance that heavily used that's the major fear that you're running into? Because if it is, just go work for a company that's going to, give you the best insurance you've ever had, far better than Medicare could ever give you.
Well, my concern is this. The nature of the work I would typically be hired to do if they could accommodate me, because I effectively will have to work from home under certain conditions and so forth, right?
Right.
I semi-routinely get called for opportunities that will be, they'll want to engage me for 6 months at a time, and then the project is just done, and they congratulate me, and I go months and months before they call me again. Well, I'll clearly earn way over SGA the first month I I take an assignment like that.
All right. So
since I'm so far done.
Yeah. So the first thing is we're kind of getting to 10 minutes. So I'm going to try and pop over to another call, but here's the situation. Yes, you are in the middle ground where it sucks. And the age thing is a bad thing too, because you're not close enough to essentially your 67 point, not 65 point. That's going to be relevant for your particular retirement. So with that said, and I understand the worth of the insurance, but that just means you're going to have to find 2 employers that are willing to, hire you and stack you so that you can be working for one and then working for the next one. Otherwise, what you want to do is earn the extra money and not have the benefits go away. That's not going to work. You're going to have to pick 2 companies or constantly be applying to companies to get the extra work. And look, if you're pulling in $80,000 to $100,000 as a result of this short time, labor that you're doing with them, man, do it,
Well, that was many years ago, but presumably, theoretically, I could do it again if all the accommodations could be made, which is the gigantic if. And I know this is a long call, so I'm going to let you run to somebody else. But you understand my dilemma here.
I do, but it's tech based, right? I mean, when you say tech, were you like C# in it, or what were you doing?
Well, you got to be careful because we're on YouTube. But essentially, I used to supervise and manage IT infrastructure and IT service desks.
That's tough from at home. That's
right. And nowadays, I mean, I have a degree in some IT security stuff, and so there are a few things that if I got the right combination all put together, it could come together. But my fear is, obviously, I'm young enough that under the best of circumstances, my career is not going to be uninterrupted till age 67. But they're going to engage me for a few months, maybe a year if I'm lucky, and then say, okay, you're done. And I'm going to have a really hard time getting another gig.
My recommendation, reach out to the human resources person in charge of that company that you potentially want to reach out to and get their take on whether or not you should apply.
Interesting. Okay. I'm gonna let you run to another caller because I know I've taken a lot of your time. I was intending for this to be quick, and I really appreciate what you do for the people.
Absolutely. Yeah. Well, very good. Well, I'll catch you later. You have a wonderful, wonderful night.
Take care.
Thank you. Bye-bye. So the phone is ringing nonstop, and then there it goes. Let me see if I can just take this next one real quick. Here we go. We are going live. Hi, this is Attorney Walter Hnot. We are live on YouTube. Remember to use a fake name throughout this process. Go ahead. Would you like me to answer a specific question, or would you like me to run hearing questions with you?
Hey, how are you, sir?
Very good.
I'm wondering, I'm on SSDI and have been for a long time, more than 10 years. Okay. Am I required to look for work? I have a mental health disability that makes it difficult for me to imagine keeping a job.
No, you're not required to go look for work. Look, the only thing they do every 3 years, 1 year, 7 years, whatever, is see if you're still severely impaired. So your only requirement is that you live your life and you keep getting medical treatment to show that you haven't improved or that you have new impairments, stuff like that. But they do not require you to work after 10 years. In fact, you could stay on disability benefits your entire life. Let's say you're on SSDI benefits for 10 years and you don't have enough quarters of coverage to go in retirement. You would literally stay on SSDI benefits and just continue forward with them. But, the bottom line is you have no requirement to go and work.
Thank you. Also, one last question, and I'll make it quick.
Sure.
I am going to receive a settlement from the state that I'm in. I was attacked by police.
Sure.
It should be several $100,000. Will that affect my case?
It depends on how they word the settlement that you ultimately get. But most cases for personal injury, which obviously this is from an attack, those will not be counted against you for your benefits because it's blood and guts injury kind of stuff. And the whole purpose of those funds is to make you whole again.
Awesome. I really appreciate your time, and I love your show, man. You're doing a great thing.
Thank you, good sir. You have a wonderful, wonderful night.
Take care.
Thank you. Bye-bye. Hi, this is Attorney Walter Hnot. We are live. Would you like, go ahead and use a fake name throughout this process. Would you like me to answer a specific question, or would you like me to run hearing questions with you? You there?
Yes, I'm here.
Ah, perfect, perfect. So it's Attorney Walter Hnot. Remember to use a fake name. Would you like me to answer a specific question, or would you like me to run hearing questions with you?
A specific question.
Excellent. How can I help you?
Okay, you can call me Philip. So I have been awarded disability. It went into effect 1st of December. I got my first payment in the month of March for the month of February.
Okay.
It is now the end of April, and I still haven't got my back payment. So I was wondering if you could enlighten me on that, on the reason why.
Now, the reasons why are either you don't have back payment due to you, or they screwed up at the local field office, or there was some technical reason that they weren't able to pay it to you. How many months were you waiting to be found disabled from when you initially filed?
I initially filed in the middle of 2021 and got awarded in December of 2022, but the back payment goes back to January of 2019.
Okay, cool. So you should have back pay, quite a bit of it. Usually around 3 weeks after you get the approval letter, you're able to go ahead and get the back pay. And SSDI, they just pay you the lump sum, unlike SSI. Have you reached out to the local field office, and what have they said about why you don't have the back pay so far?
Well, I contacted the local field office in the middle of January. They said they did a report, call back in 30 days. I called back in February in 30 days. They told me they'll put in another report, call back again in 30 days. I did that. So they said they were going to have a manager-to-manager situation to call back in 2 weeks. That was in March. I've been calling back every 2 weeks. They keep telling me, well, one thing or another.
Well, what is the one thing or the other? Like, what is it? Just telling you that they have a problem and they can't fix it, or what's the detail?
Well, it's just that they're not giving me a whole lot of detail. They're saying that it's out of their hands. It's with the payment center. The manager-to-manager meeting took place. The last thing I heard from them was that because the amount was fairly large, that and this is SSDI, by the way. I'm sure you assume that.
Mm-hmm.
That because the amount was so large, they had to have a second signature on it. So now they're waiting on a second signature, or what they call it, a second pin or something along that line, because it was a large amount.
Okay, so here's the way SSDI benefits work. Your payment is not going to come from the local field office. It's going to come from a special SSDI payment group, like Jamaica, New York. They have one in California, all that stuff. Have you gotten the phone number and extension of the person who's handling the payment in the payment division?
No, I have asked for that a couple of times and been told that I could not call them, that I had to go through the local field office.
They might do that with claimants. Like with the attorneys, we get through to anybody we really need to ultimately. But all right, so here's the deal. You're going to have to reach out to the regional office and basically ask them to go ahead and rectify this matter. Do you know which regional office you have?
I do not.
Okay, give me 1 sec. Field offices. Wow, this phone is just constantly ringing. Okay, so let's see. All right, what state do you live in?
Alabama.
Okay, so you're over there. So you're probably going to be at Georgia. Yeah, okay, cool. So, okay, I'm going to give you an email. Okay, the email is Amanda. So AMANDA dot HROVAT, again, HROV is in victory, AT, so HROVAT at SSA.gov. Go ahead and email her the details and the difficulties they're having.
Okay. The last thing I was told was because they needed this second pin that to call back basically after the 20th. So I'm planning on calling back again in the morning. But at this point, I have the local field office manager's extension number, and I've been speaking directly to her.
Okay. So, I mean, that's
So-
fine. If you're not able to rectify things within the next 2 weeks, then reach out to the regional field office. They'll be able to get on them and get it completed.
Okay. I know that it's just been, going on 5 months as far as the back pay is concerned.
Mhm.
And, I've, like anyone else in my position, I'm sure every one of your viewers, I've got bills to pay and everything. I just now got awarded it, so I've got a lot of back bills and things to take care of.
One of the things you got to keep in mind is that they're losing about 1,000 people a month. They're bleeding out literally with employees because everybody's quitting because people don't want to have to deal with the retired and the disabled. So we're about to experience a new kind of Social Security administration that people can't get status updates from, can't communicate with, where it will take months to basically get anything done. So to be fair, get it done fast, because if you don't, it's about to get real bad. So, yeah.
I feel very, very lucky that I actually got approved when I did, hearing all the horror stories. But so I feel blessed that I did get approved. And like I said, that's not the only problem I've had. I've also, on my very first check I've ever gotten from the government, there was also an overpayment that was taken out of it for about $500, and nobody can tell me why that got taken out either.
Well,
But I was told to fight the back payment fight first and then try to figure out what that was about.
let me do this. Let me get to the next caller, but see if you can get some answers within the next 2 weeks. Other than that, give me a call back and I'll walk you through some additional steps you can take with the regional field offices.
All right. I appreciate your time, and thank you very much.
Absolutely good, sir. I'll catch you later. Have a wonderful night.
You too. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye. Hi, this is Attorney Walter Hnot. We are live on YouTube. Remember to use a fake name throughout this process. Would you like me to answer a specific question, or would you like me to run hearing questions with you?
Yes, sir.
So,
hello.
and also, you just got to go ahead and mute the computer on your end. Otherwise, it gets into a feedback loop. Yeah.
Yes, sir. Did that. Thank you.
Perfect.
Okay, my question would be, someone who receives SSI and then additional Social Security, checks will go direct deposit. Back in the old days, you could cash a check, nobody's saying anything about cash. So if you were to take cash out every month, a little bit every month, would that be a question that Social Security could ask you about where that resource went?
Well, I mean, they're not super concerned with where the money goes once you get it, unless you're using it for illegal purposes. Because remember, like, once they pay you, that's not really a traditional taxable asset unless you earn additional money on top of your SSDI, SSI, concurrent allowance. So they're not really going to give a damn what you do with the money once you have it. It's more of a question of like, all right. So give me the back line here, because it's anonymous. So what are we trying to do here? Yeah.
Trying to save money for a move and a car.
All right. So you're trying to get more than $2,000 in resource limit, which would normally violate the SSI issue. So you're trying to just save up beyond $2,000, correct?
Yes.
All right. So as an attorney, I have to tell you that you're not supposed to do that and slap you on the wrist and say you're a bad person, blah, blah, blah. Now, with that said, you need to understand that if you wanted to take money and put it aside, nobody's going to know except for you. Like, nobody's going to go into that special drawer, inside the special box, inside the special sock, and say, "Oh, he's got $1 more than $2,000. Take away his benefits." No, they're not going to do that. So if you want to save up cash and then buy something cash, nobody's going to know. Nobody's going to be able to find out. I have to, as an attorney, tell you you're not supposed to have more than $2,000 for the SSI benefits, but ain't nobody going to know. It's just, it's just, now look, if you're putting aside, and all of a sudden you buy something at ticket price for, $66,700, they're going to wonder why you have a receipt and that place logged the receipt for that amount. But if you're buying something cash, then it's different. Then they're not going to know, what I mean? It's just, there's no way to trace it.
But even though the money's taken out of a direct deposit account, they're not going to question where the cash went to?
No, people
Because
take
it
money
isn't
out all the time.
Okay.
They take money out and they
Okay.
buy clothing, they buy food. I mean, it's not everything's a
Right.
credit card. Yeah.
Right. Sir, I thank you so much for your time, and I appreciate it.
Absolutely good, sir. Have a wonderful night.
You also. Thank you. Bye-bye now.
Thank you. Bye-bye. How many seconds will go by until somebody else calls in? Let's wait. 1, Mississippi. 2, Mississippi. I can't believe it. They called the entire call. Oh, there it is. All right, here we go. All right. Let me get the speaker on. There we go. This is Attorney Walter Hnot. We are live on YouTube. Remember to use a fake name throughout this process. Would you like me to answer a specific question, or would you like me to run hearing questions with you?
I just have a specific question, please.
Okay, go for it.
I am wondering, I've been on SSDI for probably 2-3 years, and I was up for reevaluation this month, April. And what they did, and I'm at a young age. I'm currently 57 years old. So what they told me was that they were going to give me till the age of 56 because that's the earliest they could actually retire somebody, and that I would either come up for evaluation or reevaluation, or they would just retire me at the same rate. So I get about $914, I think is what it is. And I'm wondering, would I qualify for more money?
Wait a minute. You're saying they told you that they're going to retire you at 56?
It's 50. I'm 56. Yeah, currently.
Okay, and they said they were going to retire you at what age?
56.
They can't retire.
The minimum.
Yeah, they can't retire you at 56. The minimum you can retire is at 62. And if you're an SSI only or SSI concurrent, the SSI portion will look to go straight into retirement. If you have SSDI benefits, you ride that until basically you're 67. So 62 is the earliest potential. Yeah.
I'm sorry. I'm on SSDI.
Okay. So 67 is essentially what your retirement age is likely to be.
Okay. So I'm just going to currently get this benefit amount until I'm 67, and then do I get more?
It'll probably be the same. It almost certainly will be the same, because remember, unless there's like weird attachments or stuff that you plan throughout life, it's probably going to be the same. SSDI translates into your retirement amount almost every single time.
Yeah, and that's what they were telling me too as well. So
yeah,
I was it was just a question because they just did it, this month, and instead of having to be reapproved, they just approved me, and I guess that from here on out, that's what I'm getting.
Yeah, it's going to stay the same. You should look into trial work period, extended eligibility period, 5-year ticket to work program. If you want to earn funds, more money, that's the way to do it.
Yeah, and that's what they're saying too.
Yeah.
Is that I can work and report income and not jeopardize my amount up to so much amount income.
Gotcha. Yeah. Okay.
Hey, thanks a lot. Appreciate it. I was on YouTube and I just was flipping through, and you came up on my deal, and I called the number, and I appreciate your answer. That's awesome. Thank you.
Absolutely. Have a wonderful day, good sir.
Yeah, you too. Thank you.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
All right, bye.
Hi, this is Attorney Walter Hnot, Disability Resolution PA. Use a fake name throughout this process. Remember, looks like we lost him. We'll take the next one. Here we go. And hi, this is Attorney Walter Hnot. We are live on YouTube. Remember to use a fake name throughout this process. And for all the people who are calling in right now, I'm on a call. Just let me finish this one call, and then you can call in. So good sir, ma'am, would you like me to go ahead and answer a question, or would you like me to run hearing questions with you? I think my phone is literally overloading, guys. So just let one person call in, kind of gig. Hi, this is Attorney Walter Hnot. We are live on YouTube. Use a fake name throughout this process. Would you like me to go ahead and basically answer a question, or would you like me to walk you through some hearing questions?
Yes, I have a specific question.
Perfect. Go for it.
Yep, I've received Social Security disability a year ago this April. I am currently 62 years old.
Okay.
And my question is on CDRs. When should I expect one, or would I even get one at this age?
I've seen CDRs go up to 63. Are you on retirement or SSDI benefits? I didn't catch that because the phone kept ringing, but yeah, go ahead.
SSDI.
Perfect. So yeah, I've seen them go up to 63, but they're usually with something where they want to go ahead and review it. If you have recent education where you just completed a degree, you start a job that has a high amount of income coming in, or you're doing something potentially a little bit, wonky or fraudulent, then they're going to go ahead and do a 63 review. They're rare, but they are happening up to that age.
And being 1 year into my award, should I expect one? Like how many years out would I get one?
Potentially 12 months from the award date, 3 years from the award date, or 7 years from the award date. In your case, you're looking at the 1 year or the 3 year.
Okay, so if I don't get one here soon, then I would be looking at 3 years.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, all right. Thank you very much. I appreciate your help.
Absolutely, good sir. Have a wonderful night.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye-bye. I'm waiting for the next call. It's coming. I can feel it. I can feel the fingers of the, all right, here we go. And hi, this is Attorney Walter Hnot. We are live on YouTube. Would you like?
Hi, this is Attorney Walter Hnot.
There we go. So you got to go ahead and mute your computer on your end. There you go. There you go. Oh God. Let's see what happened there. I guess it hung up. All right, here we go. We're going to take the next call. Hi, this is Attorney Walter Hnot. We are live on YouTube. Remember to use a fake name throughout this process. Would you like me to answer a specific question, or would you like me to run hearing questions with you?
Well, I guess I was trying to tell you what's going on with me first.
No, definitely not. No story time, because there's so many people calling in. Just legal question, and then I'll kind of I'll figure it out from there. But hit me with the legal question.
Okay.
Yeah.
The people that follow you around have been following me 24 hours a day, 7 days a week for 8 years across 14 states. And I literally have no life, and I can't find anyone to help me. And now I'm on disability, and it's still going on.
Okay, what proof do you have that they're following you around?
They literally go out their way to make sure that I see them.
But what, what proof?
They stop traffic. They stop traffic. They don't let me order at a restaurant. The worst stories that you've ever heard, I've experienced times a million, and I can't get anyone to help me. And it's been 8 years.
So I mean, here's the thing.
8 years ago, I had a full-time job, a part-time job in the business, and now I have nothing. And they're still coming. So that means they're trying to take away the Social Security. And that's the last line. They took away everything above the Social Security. And so all I've got is that. And they're going to take that away now.
So here's the thing. I can tell you how to avoid, basically the investigators. I can tell you how to essentially, have you reached out to local field office and asked for an ROI report as to what they found, what's going on, stuff like that? Because a lot of people are paranoid and they're not being followed, and then they call me up and they say I'm being followed. But and I mean, you could be followed for anything. Could be SSA, could be a criminal court, could be anything. So my question is, have you talked to the SSA over those many years and asked them for a copy of that ROI report?
Not the Social Security Administration. I've called every other government agency and the local police and FBI and Homeland and, my politicians and everybody else I could think of, but, they all just say the same thing. Why do you think you're being followed? Or why are you so important that you be followed?
So here's what I would say. My suggestion with this scenario is call up the local SSA field office, ask them for a copy of the investigative report, and have them mail it to you. And if they don't have one, over that giant period of time, they would have created one. So what I'm saying is, very likely, if they don't have a report at that point, it's not them that's investigating you.
Well, that's the thing. I don't know, because 8 years ago, I wasn't on Social Security. So I don't know who started it. I just know it's the same people all the time.
Oh, well then, yeah, man, if it's not Social Security doing it, I can't really tell you about who's doing it or why. So, but give them a call, see if they have anything out on you, or if they're doing anything. And then once you have that report, you can always give me a call and we can go through it together. Yeah.
All right. Thank you very much.
You got it, sir. Have a wonderful, wonderful day.
All right, bye.
Bye-bye. Hi, this is Attorney Walter Hnot. We are live on YouTube. Would you like me to answer a specific question, or would you like me to run hearing questions with you? And remember to use a fake name throughout this. How can I help you?
Hello?
Yep, I can hear you.
Hi. I wanted to ask you a question. Yesterday, I checked my Social Security account, and it says that my SSI has been denied, but they're going to review my SSDI, and they're going to give me an answer in about 30 days. I wanted to see if that's a good sign that my case is going to be approved.
No, that's not necessarily a good sign that's going to be approved. That just means that the people adjudicating it had to split the claim off. I mean, it could have been a million different reasons that they had to split the claim up. But bottom line is that doesn't mean you're going to be approved for that particular claim. Remember, both claims use essentially the same medical standard. So if one of them got denied for medical purposes, then it's almost certainly that the other one will be denied for medical purposes. So it's actually a bad sign. The only time it might be a good sign is where basically, like, you know, it's a situation where you didn't have enough quarters of coverage for SSDI benefits, but you do meet the poverty requirements for SSI, and you get a medical approval for SSI, but you can't get SSDI benefits because, you know, you don't have enough quarters of coverage. But in your case, they denied you for SSI first, correct?
Yeah, it only says that my SSDI is in review and that they check in to make sure that I meet the non-medical requirements. Are you in
a poverty state? Like, do you have less than $2,000 in the bank?
Yes.
Okay, so you could still be approved, but it sounds more like a negative to me, because if they denied you for SSI, it probably was a medical denial, which means that you're probably going to get a medical denial for SSDI benefits as well, because they both use the same medical denial standard.
Okay.
Yeah. All right.
Do you think my age has anything into consideration? I'm 43.
Yeah, I mean, that doesn't help because you're under the grid out potential. So you're about 7 years shy of having the first rule that could potentially help your claim actually work for it.
Wow. Okay. Well, we'll see what happens. Thank you very much, sir.
Absolutely.
I appreciate it.
Absolutely. Have a wonderful, wonderful night.
You too, sir.
Thank you. Bye-bye. This phone is like, just the screen is just all over the place. Just all over the place. Hi, this is Attorney Walter Hnot. We are live on YouTube. Remember to use a fake name throughout this process. Would you like me to answer a specific question, or would you like me to run hearing questions with you? Go ahead.
Hi, I will try not to take much of your time.
Thank you.
It is basically, I filed for disability August of 2021, and I still have not been approved. I've got a lawyer. I'm in Corpus Christi, Texas, and I'm working through the process. Now, I've heard mixed results from different people. If I get my approval, will the back time go all the way back to when I filed, or can they stop from getting? Someone told me they're not giving back time anymore, and you know how information on the internet can be, so I wanted to ask you.
Okay, so the way it works is it all depends on what your alleged onset date approval is. There's a magical date called the AOD. The AOD is the alleged onset date. The alleged onset date is the magical date at which they believed you met all the severity requirements at the SSA. So it's a magical date because it's what the SSA, your attorney, and you ultimately agree on when you're found disabled that they believe you became severely impaired on. Could have been a car accident, could have just been when, you know, the impairment got so bad that it was severe enough, whatever. But the bottom line is that is the magical date. Okay. Now that date could be put a month before your hearing. That date could be put 17 months prior to the date that you filed for SSDI benefits. So they could pay you back pay plus retroactive benefits up to 17 months before you filed, or they could pay you back pay where you have no back pay and you're found disabled within 6 months of the date in which you were found disabled by that court. Because remember, SSDI benefits, you don't count the first 5 months or the last month in which you're found disabled. So bottom line is this. Yes, there could be a no back pay situation. Yes, there could be a back pay situation where they go back even farther than when you filed. But that all depends on how good your medical evidence is and how good your attorney is at negotiating.
Understood.
Yep. Perfect.
Wonderful. You're a godsend. I appreciate everything you do.
Thank you, good sir. Have a wonderful night.
You too.
Thank you. Bye-bye. Hi, this is Attorney Walter Hnot, live on YouTube. Remember to use a fake name throughout this process. Would you like me to answer a specific question, or would you like me to run hearing questions?
A specific question, please.
Sure, go for it.
Let me mute my TV. I wrote you earlier, Tommy Two Toes, and trust issues and an attorney committing fraud, lying to the client and everything. Is there like a disability act that protects those with mental impairments?
Yeah, there is, but I'm not finding your email. Is it 2 M's or 1 M?
That's a fake name.
How do I look up the email? Like, give me the first couple of letters.
J-O-B.
J-O-B. Let's see if we can find this thing. Oh, God. Give me a fourth letter.
How about this? J-C period.
J-C period.
Yep. TBI.
I am not seeing an email. I see Amazon emails. I see mail delivery system emails. I see emails to myself.
I sent it to the Walter. I'm sorry, the info at the disability group.
Can you send it again right now? The disability resolution. So it's info@disabilityresolution.com. If you can send it again right now, that would be perfect.
I can. Give me 1 second.
Sure.
I'm not as agile as I used to be with electronics. I used to be an engineer. Shit. Wife's like talking to the world.
Yeah. Well, while you're doing that, I just want to thank all the people who did a donation. Marjan, I really appreciate it. I really appreciate the donation there. And yeah, I know we got to fix this phone thing because literally people just keep calling in and the phone just keeps ringing. One Love, again, thank you for the amazing Little Lemon with the $5 donation. Super duper duper appreciate it. Shirley, I hope you're doing well. Hope your nap was awesome. Basically, it looks like the coffee thing, which means probably awake. But guys, I just want to thank you for the donations because redoing this house was extraordinarily expensive. And that's because I just didn't know how bad it was going to be. But we will have videos coming out soon. And I saw the first video from Combat Craig that he was able to go ahead and chop up and basically edit and export. So very soon you're going to be seeing on his channel some videos, which I'm really excited about, that I am a collaborator in. So essentially check those out when they pop up. I'll let you know, and I will link them in the channel so that you can go right to them. So good sir, did you send that email again?
Yes, I did, Walter.
Okay, perfect. Give me one moment. Okay, let's see what we got. Okay. Okay, pardon typos. Okay, so here's what we're going to do. Okay, so I'm going to read this real quick. Give me like 30 seconds, then we should be good to go.
All right, man. Sorry to take up so much time.
Yeah, no worries. Oof, tearing the frontal lobes. Jeez.
I'm trying still, man. I'm not going to give up.
All right, so look, what you have is basically a situation where the attorney committed legal malpractice, and yes, you can try to recover. Here's what you got to do when a situation like that occurs. There's two groups you have to reach out to. Group number one, the state bar. Once again, the state bar. So what state are we talking about? Like, what state do you live in?
I live in North Carolina, but the attorney resides there in Orlando.
Okay, so we're talking about essentially then two locations, two states. You'll go to both bars. You'll file a complaint with both of them. The next group they have to file a complaint with is OIG, the Office of Inspector General. They handle basically the certification for the attorney to go ahead and continue to do disability law. In this instance, I don't know the complete extent of what the attorney did wrong. You know, it says attorney lied to me for years, tried to, settle things with his mistakes, yada, yada. But bottom line is those are the two groups you're going to have to reach out to for sanctions to be brought against that attorney and potentially revoke that attorney's license to practice Social Security law?
He doesn't practice Social Security law. He practices, I guess, injury and medical malpractice, and he participated in being a defense attorney for a murder suspect. He's all over the place, man.
Okay, so if he's doing like crim law / personal injury, then OIG isn't going to really care. But was he representing you in any way for Social Security benefits?
No, he had 2 MBAs.
Okay.
And he consulted about things to do and referred me to one other attorney for some corporate matters and separating from my company.
So what you're going to want to do in that instance is you're going to want to go ahead and reach out to the bars for each state. And you're also going to want to reach out to any special certification groups that like certify him for above and beyond, like just a regular attorney, and let them know about your complaint as well. That way he has to answer to all of them. And remember, it will be a battle because attorneys go into full defense mode when somebody files a complaint against them.
Yep. Well, one was already filed, and he apparently settled. I didn't know about it until my new attorney found it and apprised me of it. And, oh, man, he gives attorneys bad name.
Some of them really do. Some of the attorneys out there are some disability attorneys too, where I'm just like, damn, you know, like there are some attorneys who will screw something up and then will refuse to fix it and just don't care. I'm just like, damn, you know, that hardened person. But yeah, man, I'm sorry you had to go through whoever that attorney was. I don't know who it was, but you know, the other side of the coin is you can always bring a legal action against them for malpractice. But remember, those get pricey and his legal team is free. So, you know, weigh your options here, you know?
Oh, yeah, it falls in play. I thank you for all the serious, truthful information and dispelling rumors and things like that. It's much appreciated. We need honesty.
Thank you, good sir. Well, you have a wonderful, wonderful night. I'll catch you later.
You as well.
Thank you. Bye-bye. Okay, guys, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually take a miniature break from the phone and answer some of the questions. Specific. We're just going to put it right over there because I'm like, it's over there. And what I'm going to do is answer some questions specifically from the chat section because a lot of people don't get answers from the chat section. I feel like I kind of leave them out, and that's not fair. And keep in mind, the moderator is not trained specifically in Social Security disability law. She's more trained in like how to do digital stuff. So let me get into those questions real quick. Fred Gonzalez, super love the little money eyes 99-cent deal. Now, Nicola Sexton, you had a question. 999 donation, super appreciate it. The question is, what are some signs you've won your hearing? So this is a simple but also incredibly complex question. And here's why. When you go ahead and look to see whether or not you've won your attorney, you must always have to ask your attorney whether or not the vocational expert testimony went well. Now, there's always the easy case where the judge will just be like, I'm going to approve your benefits. I'm going to help your client out, stuff like that. But what you're really asking me is, what of the vocational expert portion of the hearing says that you are more likely than not approved for Social Security disability benefits? So the main things you want to listen for are essentially, you know, these hypotheticals that are being brought forward from the judge that are just out there, where the hypothetical claimant couldn't do any work. There's no possible way. It's just like, let me give you an example. If the person was 15% off task every single day at work, would there be jobs in the national economy? No. If the person missed 3 days a month, while working, would that be a work preclusive scenario? Again, great sign that you're probably being found disabled. If the judge has a medical expert that is part of the adjudication, they usually come in at the very beginning. The medical expert will go ahead and give testimony. And then, essentially the medical expert will lean the judge one way or the other way. And when they lean the judge one way and the judge is agreeing with them that you are meeting severity requirements, then at that point, you're very likely to be found disabled. If the judge cuts it off, like cuts your hearing, cuts your testimony off, tells your attorney, hey, I've heard enough, right? And the judge is like, okay, let's do some vocational experts so we can wrap this thing up. That usually means that you've been found disabled. If the judge originally, if you start off the hearing and medical evidence was missing, But then basically, and that happens at a lot of hearings, some medical facilities just won't send in their stuff. But let's say that the judge at the end of the hearing is like, you know what, I think I have enough in the record to make a decision. And the hearing was normal. Nobody was screaming at each other. Nobody, it was none of that crap. It was like a normal hearing. Then that is a good indicator that you probably won your Social Security disability benefits. Let me try and answer one more question. Let me scroll up a little bit. Vocational expert asked one question. They say there are no jobs. That's how my hearing went. No. If the vocational expert says there are no jobs, that de facto does not mean that you'll be found disabled. A lot of people get that wrong. A lot of people, and it's actually one of those things that's really harmful to the general population of people trying to learn what happens at a vocational expert hearing. A judge will ask a bunch of hypothetical questions, or just one or two, right? If the judge asks one question and it's work preclusive, you're probably going to be found disabled. But almost at all hearings, you're going to hear hypo 1, hypo number 2, hypo number 3, hypo number 4. All these potential hypothetical questions. Some of them are going to offer jobs that you could do. Some of them are going to say work preclusive. And the judge gets to pick which one of those hypos the judge wants to go with as to whether or not you could potentially do full-time work in the national economy. Now, everybody's brain that's a claimant is like, I could never do full-time work. There's no way, right? But that's also very BS-y because most claimants don't realize, well, they don't have the education on it, the experience on it. They've never read a book on it. They don't know how vocational experts work or what the rules are for jobs in the DOT and the SEO. And as a result of that, this whole like, of course I can't work a full-time job. It's useless. When a claimant tells me that, I'm just like, dude, okay, yeah, got it. The point is, you have to fit within their little taxonomy system of how essentially you could not do a job. I had a hearing recently where the claimant, prior to the hearing, wanted to go ahead and help with every aspect. I want to be part of writing the brief. I want to be part of the vocational experts, cross-examination, all that stuff. And I was like, no, you can't. You don't know how to write the briefs, what the rules are. He emailed me a bunch of questions he wanted me to ask the vocational expert. Not a single one could be used because they were all outside of the framing of how you're supposed to frame your questions for a vocational expert within the rules and regulations. So the point is, and I get that you guys want to understand that better. Here's the deal. I have some vocational experts I'm going to be bringing on the show that will explain it better. And I'm actually right now talking to the gentleman who essentially created SkillTran. And I want him to go ahead and do an educational series on why the program works the way it does, where the program is going with things, and some of the issues that the SSA is having with their vocational system. So those are essentially the goals and of what we're going to be going through, so that you have a better understanding as to how vocational expert portions of a hearing actually go. Because you have the intro, housekeeping, attorney, and judge talk. Then you have the testimony of the claimant, attorney, and judge talk. Then you have the vocational expert portion of the hearing, judge, vocational expert, and attorney talk. Then you have the outro of the hearing, claimant, the attorney, and the judge talk. That's usually where the judge will say to the claimant, hey, did we miss any impairments? Is there anything else you'd like to add? And that's usually where claimants go and kill their claim. They will tell a story. Somehow they will find the wording to ruin everything they spent all that time giving testimony on during that portion. You don't know how many times I have trained claimants on the questions, and then the judge asks them, is there anything else you'd like to add? And that claimant will destroy, nuclear bomb their claim with some BS story right at the end, straight from their heartstrings, and they just mess it all up. Anyways, let's go to another call real quick and begin the process. Here we go. Now, I am getting a little worn out, and it is 9:20 a.m., so we might have to go a little bit slower this time around. Now, here we go. Just so you guys know, we missed 14 calls just in that period of time. Hi, this is Attorney Walter Hnot. We are live on YouTube. Remember to use a fake name throughout this process. Would you like me to answer a specific question, or would you like me to run hearing questions with you? Go ahead.
Specific question.
Perfect. How can I help you?
Fact, I just posted this in the chat without getting an answer. I get about $600 a month in SSDI.
Yeah.
And then I get a bit more on in DAC benefits on top of that.
Okay.
And I was wondering, when I get old enough that they decide to flip things over to retirement, what happens to the DAC portion?
When you said the back benefits, do you mean like SSI benefits or do you mean like spousal benefits? Like what were the back benefits?
The DAC benefits are from my mom.
Oh, DAC benefits, right?
Yeah, disabled
Adult child. Yeah. Okay, gotcha. Yeah, because keep in mind, like you're on voicemail or you're on voice caster here. So like when somebody goes DAC benefits and I hear back benefits, I'm like, damn, she invented a new form of benefits I need to go learn about. But it's like, damn it, I didn't know. Okay, so DACs are disabled adult child benefits. For those guys who don't know out there, very simple and straightforward. Between 18 and 22, if you can prove, right, your ages, 18 to 22, that you were severely impaired, you can tap into your Title II benefits from your parents. Now, with that said, you will transition from SSDI benefits at 67 to retirement benefits, and you will be able to continue to utilize those DAC benefits going forward through that process. So if you're wondering, and remember, you're just going to keep getting the same amount except with COLA increases. Like, yeah, so it's not like going to vastly change because you're getting your retirement around right now. And then at 67, you'll switch over to retirement, which means you have less income restrictions, like you don't have the SGA rule anymore and stuff like that. But at the same time, you know, you'll still be getting pretty much the same thing just with your cost of living adjustment increases. Yeah.
So the DAC benefits basically don't change.
No, I mean, you know, they're going to increase with the cost of living adjustment, but other than that, they don't change.
Okay. Because I've checked online and I can't ever find an answer to that question searching online. But
yeah.
Thanks.
Absolutely.
Answered it.
Yeah, absolutely. Have a wonderful night.
You too.
Thank you. Bye-bye. Bye-bye. Boop. Hi, this is Attorney Walter Hnot. We are live on YouTube. Remember to use a fake name throughout this process. Would you like me to answer a specific question, or would you like me to run hearing questions with you? And remember, you have to... Yeah, so guys, remember, when you call in, you have to have your computer muted. Super duper important. Okay. Hi, this is Attorney Walter Hnot. We are live on YouTube. Remember to mute your computer. Use a fake name throughout this process. Would you like me to answer a specific question, or would you like me to run hearing questions with you?
A specific question?
Sure, go ahead.
I have a hearing coming up in July, and it's probably running hearing questions with me instead of a question.
Okay. So are you currently represented by an attorney?
Yes.
Has the attorney run hearing questions with you up to this point?
No.
Okay, so I'm going to do the quick and easy fast version. We're going to see how well you do, and then we'll go from there. Are you ready?
Okay, yes.
All right, we're assuming you stated your fake name for this hearing. Can you tell me, are you left-handed, right-handed, date of birth, and current age?
Right-handed, date of birth is 1/28/1963. Current age is 60.
Excellent. Can you explain to me, what are your top 5 most severe disabling medical conditions that limit your ability to work?
I have lupus in the bones, rheumatoid arthritis. I have fibromyalgia. I have neuropathy from the knee down to the tip of the toe. I have high cholesterol, high blood pressure. I am borderline on diabetes, which I do take medication, metformin for that. I have distal metacarpal tunnel syndrome in the right hand, and the left hand I get subchondral cysts, which the tendons flare up in both hands. I have flare-ups in my knees and my ankles where they bother me, and then I have osteoarthritis as well.
Excellent. So musculoskeletal, cardiovascular, and endocrine system-based issues. Can you explain to me, do you have any ambulatory devices that assist you with walking for the musculoskeletal-based limitations?
No.
Can you explain to me, when was the last time you were to the emergency room for crisis medical treatment due to pain or other symptoms for any of those impairments?
I haven't been treated. It's been years since I did the MRI for the osteoarthritis, but I do see my rheumatologist on a regular basis, the neurologist on a regular basis. I'm also classified as depressive. I have a therapist and a psychiatrist that I see also. Okay.
Can you explain to me, when it comes to the pain that you feel, How often do you feel it per week? And where's the location of the pain?
The pain is daily in my hands. The pain is daily in my bones. And I have problems with trying to grip and hold on and twist things and so forth. Bending and stooping is hard, on the knee joints. Stepping upstairs is hard on my knees and my ankles. My normal field was in the clerical industry, which I typed for 25 years. I applied for SSDI, is what it is. And I can't use my hands that same way anymore.
Okay, walk me through this. Considering all of that, how far can you walk before you have to stop and rest due to the pain?
I would say less than 1 mile.
Okay, understood. Can you tell me a lot less than 1 mile or, around a mile?
Probably, say, for instance, if I walk through Walmart, before I'm done, I'm going to start feeling the pain. And that's just a run-through of getting everything that I would need in a hurry and getting out. So I will probably say less, like maybe at least a half a mile, I'm going to start feeling everything.
How many feet are in a mile?
I'm not even really sure.
Can you explain to me in distance, what is the closest thing that you can consider as an analysis, as an analogy that would be a mile?
I would probably say 500 feet.
Okay. So a mile is over 5,000 feet. It's like 5,280 feet. So point is, I would not use a mile as your landmark because it's going to get you in a little bit of trouble. So you think you can walk 500 feet, correct?
Before I start feeling, but then I can still continue to walk. I'll be feeling the pain, but I can still continue to walk.
Okay. Can you tell me, what is an example of 500 feet?
What is an example of 500 feet?
Yeah.
I would say probably a block.
So walking fully around the block or just walking the distance of one side of a block?
Walking the full distance of a block.
Okay. All right.
I'm not sure how many. Where I live, I'm not even sure how the blocks are measured. I'm in New Mexico.
Okay. So
country, dust country, so I don't know.
Okay, I gotcha. So if a football field is 360 feet long, you're saying you could walk like a football field and a half. Is that correct before you start feeling it?
No, not that far. I could probably walk 3/4 of the football field, I would say.
Okay. So
and then I'm going to start feeling it, but I don't know how many feet that is.
Okay. So okay, and here's what I'm getting at. Do you know what a quarter or 1/3, right? 1/3. I think you said 1/3 or whatever, maybe 1/4. But do you know how many feet 1/3 of 360 is?
No.
Okay. Can you give me a guess?
I would probably say, as far as steps.
Yeah, like feet. Yeah.
Feet. I probably would say 300 feet.
Okay. So your math is not super strong.
No, it's not. I hated math.
Yeah, I gotcha. It would be like 1/3 of 360 is like 120. 120 foot is like one fully distanced out, light pole to another, one electric pole to another electric pole. Maybe a little less, maybe a little bit more. So point is, do me a favor, go figure out how many car lengths you could walk, and then figure out how long that car is, and then multiply it by that many car lengths. Because saying you could walk a mile, I mean, I could walk a mile, but I'd be miserable by the end of it. Yeah. Okay, so because there's a ton of people calling in, I hope you learned one thing from this call, but you can always call in next week, but give your attorney a call and ask them to go ahead and start running hearing questions with you.
Okay.
Perfect. Excellent. Madame, you have a wonderful, wonderful night.
All right, you too. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Bye-bye. Hi, this is Attorney Walter Hnot. Remember to use a fake name throughout this process. Would you like me to run hearing questions with you, or would you like me to answer a question for you? Yeah, so guys, remember, you have to mute your computer when you call in. Super duper important. Jeez. So guys, just in between that phone call that I had and now, we had over 45 callers. So if I'm on a call, don't keep calling in because it's just going to beep the phone. Here we go. Next call. All right. Hi, this is Attorney Walter Hnot. Remember to mute your computer throughout this process. Use a fake name throughout this process. Would you like me to answer a specific question, or would you like me to run hearing questions with you?
You can call me Hank, and I think a specific question, please.
Perfect, Hank. How can I help you?
Say, in about March, several years ago, 9 or 10, I went on SSDI.
Okay.
So, after 3 years, they did a continuing disability review.
Okay.
And went ahead and was still on that then, of course, and then I tried to get on, I did get on the Ticket to Work program.
Okay.
And throughout the years, I tried a couple different times to work, and that just didn't pan out. So, I mean, I was not capable or able to continue in it, but I tried to stay on it. Mm-hmm. Anyway, in March, the Ticket to Work program called me and said that the Social Security Administration been in contact with them, and there were several people within the program that they were saying they don't allow people to park in the program, which she explained to me what that was all about. And so they took me out of the program. Mm-hmm. So am I to probably expect a future? Oh, and it said I have until June the 30th to find another work program or vocational type thing.
So basically you were on the program, but you were not seeking work. They kicked you off the program. Now you're trying to find a new way to get onto a program to earn more money.
Well, yes and no. I mean, I was seeking work, but I just never could seem to find any, and it was hard to keep this bunch that does the Ticket to Work didn't always get back with me, those types of things. That being said, I have a lot of issues with seeing doctors right now because of my conditions, but I would like to try to do something. I guess my question is, would you suggest that I try to go ahead and try to get back into a program, or should I just go ahead and wait to see if I get a review?
They can review you no matter what you do. That's going to be coming anyways. So that's not really a good, it is what it is. You know what I mean? That's either going to come or not going to come. So your real question is, do you get onto another program? If you get onto another Ticket to Work program, then you are in a safe little magical bubble where they can no longer review you. Because when you're on Ticket to Work, they're not allowed to review you with any CDRs, because the whole point of it is they want you to improve, they want you to get better, and they want you to get off of their disability program and have a job. So bottom line, if you're worried about a CDR for whatever reason, you want to get back into the Ticket to Work. And look, this is what happens. People are on the program. They sit for too long on it. They get kicked out of it. They sign a new agreement to go ahead and start a new program. You're going to have to actually take one of those jobs and do it, because look, here's the reality. You and I both know they have tons of employers lined up that have already signed up to take on people who are disabled, accommodations, all that junk. So, they got that. But the bottom line is, if you just park, as you put it, and they put it, then they get cranky because they don't see you trying, and you're basically getting the benefit of not being reviewed while you're on that program. So if you're worried, get on the program again and actually get a job. Yeah.
Okay, well, frankly, what I'm more worried about is in 2015, I had moved from one state to another. didn't realize it. I said, oh, okay, I moved, and I wanted to go see the doctor, and they said, well, you don't have your extra insurance anymore. I said, well, why not? They said, because you moved from another state. I said, well, I'll just get another one. Well, no, you only have so much time. Nobody told me that. So I didn't have insurance for about 4 or 5 years there and wasn't able to really afford a doctor. Well, then I started going back I finally got insurance again a couple of years ago and been going back to the doctor. So, I still have these issues and the problems, but I don't know if I have the necessary
medical treatment.
paperwork.
Yeah. So, and keep in mind, that's going to take a lot of time to answer, but what this comes down to is you have to find providers that are within your insurance, which unfortunately may not be geographically possible with where you're at. So first thing you got to do is at that point, reach out to Medicare and see who they have that you can basically tap for getting medical treatment. And the other thing you've got to do is basically start to reach out to these different doctors and see what type of treatment they're likely to require of you and to see if that specialty treatment is going to be covered by Medicare.
Okay.
That's your best shot, because otherwise, like, you can move to a new state and yes, it could not be covered by one doctor in one state. Yes, in another state, another doctor. But your best shot is call Medicare, tell them your problem, tell them what you need, see what they can match up for you, and then do the same thing with the doctors, because one of them is going to want your business if there's potential payoff of it, which means they might get in program.
So for some reason, I really think that personally that I'd be okay with the CDR, excuse me, because of the condition I'm in. That being said, if something were to come up, do I just try to, if I were denied or something, said, nope, you're not on it anymore, do I just try to find a good attorney in the state I'm in, or do you represent folks outside your state, or what would you suggest there? And that'll be my last question, sir.
So I represent people literally not only in the United States, but also in the U.S. possessions, like the little island countries and stuff like that. And I represent people all the way over in like the Asian Sea Islands who are over there with SSDI benefits and such. But the point is this: no attorney really takes on CDR claims where the person is still receiving benefits. So if you opt in to continue to receive your benefits, no attorney will take the claim, because there's no way for the attorney to get paid, because attorneys get paid from back pay. And if you're still getting a check every month, then there's no back pay. So yes, I could potentially represent you, but you wouldn't be able to receive your check every month, which obviously is going to hinder you significantly. So there's a catch-22 there. What I would recommend is if you do get into that situation, you can call the live show. I can help you out a little bit. But if you really can't fix it, at some point you're going to go in front of a judge. The judge is going to cut off the benefits to either go get an attorney, or they're going to end the benefits in total, which means appeals counsel time. So that's what always happens in those claims.
Okay, well, thank you very much for your time.
Yeah, absolutely. Good, sir. You have a wonderful night.
You too. Thank you.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye.
So, guys, I'm going to take one more call, because, look, we've answered a lot of calls tonight, and this is very difficult to do this. This is like rapid fire chess for essentially, an hour and a half or whatever. So it's not an hour and a half yet, but like an hour and something. All right, next call. Here we go. Hi, this is Attorney Walter Hnot. We are live on YouTube. Remember to use a fake name throughout this process. Would you like me to answer a specific question, or would you like me to run hearing questions with you? Go ahead.
Hi, Walter. I'll use a fake name. Gizmo is my fake name.
Perfect.
I have a question for you. Been disabled, which really was blindsided about becoming disabled, multiple reasons, and I do have some good days, which is good, but it also terrifies me, just walking out of the house. I don't want to give the wrong impression. So, for example, I've been in the flare this past week. Last Friday, I had to go to Social Security, and after seeing, watching your videos for a while, I'm like, that particular day,
you were doing good. Yeah, you're doing well. Oh, okay. So you were having issues. Okay, yeah.
I was having issues. I took my my walker with me. My husband went with me. able to sit down. Fortunately, it went very nice. I had to go pick up information because I'm taking care of my dad. I'm the executor of my dad's estate, my family's estate. That is exhausting and taking everything out of me. Then on Monday, I had surgery. I find out, I didn't get enough information from Social Security. So after I get out of the hospital, bands and all, when they put the bands in your name and everything on it, went right back to Social Security, still used the locker, said, I'm sorry, my accountant needs this information, no problem. But going in there, I was very aware that that could be used against me, because I had to type in my name so they would know who I was, present all documents, proving the documents I need for my parents so I could file final return. It's just overwhelming. And the diseases I have, they are very complicated. They come and go. And it's a mine S. I'm not cussing. I'm just letting you know. Mine. It's a mine F. You would actually think I was a hypochondriac, and we've been able to go back to when I was 13 when certain things started happening, including my digestive system, which I found out Monday I need surgery to correct a couple problems in my stomach.
So real quick, what is the legal question though? Because people always call in and then we hit start. Yeah, go for it. Yeah.
Oh, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. I guess my legal question is basically, how do I live my life honestly and without living in fear that, if I bring groceries into the house, I can get like a little wagon to bring into the house. But the problem is I have a huge hill I have to pull up on it. I have the steps are about 12 inches tall, literally. And I've got to pull myself up. So it's an ordeal. It's an ordeal. So I'm concerned about how do I protect myself from being a target.
Yeah, I gotcha. Okay.
I'm not faking anything.
Gotcha. So here's the thing. There is no happy answer to this question, and here's why. The CDI units that actually investigate people are sent out with extremely low levels of potential fraud, right? So it could be that you said on a statement that you need an ambulatory device, and then they get on another statement where you were at the shopping store, buying groceries, and you weren't using your walker. And that rises to the level of enough for them to send out an investigator to follow you around, which is exactly what happened in this claim that I did in the video directly before this. And it's not exactly, but it's a similar idea. So the point is, there is no happy answer, because when they go after you, they either categorize it as a criminal fraud or a non-criminal fraud situation review. And what this comes down to is, if you're good one day, they could get video footage of you, whether it's an individual that is taking it from a van that's 100 feet away, or potentially a person that walks up to you and just starts talking to you and is really friendly and really nice and really, how are you doing? What's your day going like? Oh, what are you up to later? Blah, blah, blah. So the point is, unfortunately, there is no happy answer to this. Some people say, oh, you're fear mongering. Actually, we're going to be going through a legal lawsuit in the federal court system where that exact scenario happened. And that investigator schmoozed up to the person, went into her house with 2 secret cameras and recorded basically all of their interactions, and then claimed that he did not commit a search, even though he went in her house, looked around, recorded everything, and got the footage of her wheelchair that he used against her, buying through DDS for her hearing. Yeah, in the house. So There is no happy answer to this. Unfortunately, it's actually worse than I originally thought it was. And once I started to download all the cases on these CDI unit situations, I realized that A, they don't have a good structure for where they put a leash on their investigators. And B, the court system is reeling to try and catch up to limiting these individuals. Like this court case was decided in 2018. Initial investigation was 2012. The CDI units really got popping and hopping after 9/11 because there were so many police officers and firefighters that were fraudulently abusing the system, claiming they had PTSD, but weren't even there on 9/11 or to clean up after 9/11. And they were on a jet ski in the water having a good time on video or on photo on their Facebook profile or MySpace, because it was back then. But the point is, I do not have a happy ending answer for you. Unfortunately, if you have a good day and they're out there, they might use it against you in a CDR. So that's the truth of it.
And let me ask you this. When you have a basket and instead of using a locker, you obviously can't put groceries on your walker if you need to pick up multiple items. Sometimes scooters work, sometimes they don't. So I choose to use a basket as a balance and use it kind of like my walker. One, for balance, and two, for a little exercise. But I know I can't do a circumference of a grocery store because it'll put me down for a few days. I've learned to know what my limits are. So that was something I had thought about after, hearing you in the past on other situations. Would that even fly?
No.
Using
No,
a basket, it would not.
It's subjective. You're trying to save it after the point. Obviously, if they see you rocking a basket with over 10 pounds in it worth of items, then they're going to come for you. That's a perfect example of somebody they expect you to be utilizing some sort of electric chair, and if they don't have an electric chair, going to a different grocery store that does.
Even though you can't afford the food, and you're going to one place that they're going to expect you to go to another grocery store and use their electric chair that may or may not work and then pay a higher rate.
Well, then the question becomes, why aren't you using a wheelchair, or why aren't you getting assistance from somebody else? Remember, you have your defense. And trust me, I come up with and work with defenses all day long. But how strong is the defense where they've got a video of you walking around with your cane, holding a full basket, brimming and brimming over with items, and there you are swinging it up onto the cash registers, basically area. How strong of an argument is that going to be when they have that footage and they show it in court?
Right. No, I get it. I get it.
So,
okay. Well, just to let you know, I am being honest, and
sure,
my situation is real and everything. I know my limits, and my basket is never full over. I mean, brimming over. So
yeah, I got you.
Putting a few items in. So, do you also practice in Pennsylvania?
Yeah, we got a bunch of people in Pennsylvania, farmland specifically areas. But yeah, we represent everybody in pretty much every state, in every possession of the United States, and even some areas outside of the United States. Yeah.
Okay. Wonderful.
Yeah.
Wonderful.
Perfect.
Okay. Well, thank you very much for your time. I really appreciate it. And thank you for everything you do. You are absolutely amazing.
Thank you, ma'am. Well, you have a wonderful, wonderful night, okay?
Thank you. You too.
Thank you. Bye-bye. Bye-bye. So, guys, I'm super tired. I don't know if you can tell my eyes are starting to shut down, whole body kind of thing. I have to go and either go to bed or drink lots of caffeine to continue, basically working on stuff. What I'm going to do is weigh and balance the option. My doggies are parked right over here, and they're very stinky, which means they have to go outside. But I will catch up with you on another day. I hope you enjoyed the show. Please remember, it's free. I know they put the ads up and stuff, but if you enjoy the show, please remember to like, subscribe, and leave 5-star reviews. Easiest way to leave 5-star reviews, you just go to Google, you type in Disability Resolution Florida. That's the law firm's name, Disability Resolution Florida. Pop a 5-star review in there, and I super appreciate them because bottom line is, like, when I wake up and I see like, hey, this person left a 5-star review, I'm like, oh, makes me feel good. So anyways, I'll catch you a little bit later. Have a wonderful night. And again, I want to talk about those who donated real quick. Those individuals, thank you so much. It's an absolutely huge thing that helps me out in an absolutely immense way. Fred Gonzalez, 99-cent donation. Really appreciate it. Love the little icon with the little money eyes. Nicola Sexton, 999 donation. Super cool. Very cool. April Galton, $5 donation. Karen McDonald, super duper $5 donation. And then we've got Marjan, $1.99 donation. And I think somewhere in there was a Shirley donation. But anyways, guys, I will catch you a little bit later. Please, please, please take care of yourself. We're going to be doing a bunch of videos on what the investigators did wrong in this particular case. And then we're going to do a video specifically on how they got away with doing it wrong, which is just shenanigans and Pop-Tarts. Just wrong. But I will catch you a little bit later. Have a wonderful night, and we'll go from there. Thanks so much, guys. I'll catch you later. Have fun. Bye-bye, guys. Bye-bye.